I say now what's happening? 9 Spiral, fair use, YouTube fair use. This is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe upon my copyright. Maybe. Truly, this is a content notice. You got it in red. You can contact the owner prior to making the copyright claim. Okay, warning, warning. Long time coming. Targeted individuals. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. 9 Spiral, Shalom to the home team. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, 1 second. All right, let's cook. Let's cook. All right, we're here. Long time coming. What is targeting and what is a targeted individual? And we're going to dig on it. It is indeed a government program, and I need people to understand, as I had to conceive in mine own understanding, that this is nothing more than a program. Good Ock taught me that, man. He said you have to understand, 9 Spiral, that you are in a program, right? And you've been selected in this program because there's something about you that they see that scares them, right? And we're gonna dig on it. A lot of people don't, oblivious to this thing. But it's happening all over the face of the plane. To my knowledge, I can go back to 2018 when I got out of incarceration, right? Other than that, I couldn't tell you much about it, but it has been a roller coaster. Yo, you want to talk about post-traumatic stress? Yeah. I don't think people will ever be the same that goes through this program, right? And that scares me a little bit. Because it's a sort of conditioning, right? A conditioning. I've had to recondition everything, my mind, body, my ruach. But I wouldn't change nothing for the world, because what it has done, it has brought me closer to my mother and father above. And that's what they fear. I don't think they was counting on that, but hey, let's dig on it. Nice, nice. You're rocking with 9 Spiral. Let's cook. It's gonna be electrifying. Let's go. All right, we're gonna pop off with New Breed, man. This cat right here, Ark, man. He's Israel, and most of these people you're gonna see in this video are Israel. I wanted to make it that I wanted to stress that point, right? Because anybody could be in this program, right? I've talked to ex-NSA agents. I've talked to ex-Homeland Security. I've talked to ex-lawyers and doctors. I've talked to ex-reporters, right? There's no color barrier. They don't give a damn who you are. If you are problematic to their new world order, you will be put in this program. Right? It's very serious now. I kid you not. You wouldn't believe the shit that I've been through. You would not believe it. Believe it. But a nigga still ticking, right? Look here, man. Who will rouse this lion? You might as well say I'm from the tribe of Judah. Let go. You can't break me. I told you, motherfucker, a long time ago, you're gonna have to kill me. Didn't I tell you? I meant what I said. You're gonna have to kill me. I give no two fucks about you. Because I know you don't give no 2 fucks about me, right? Pop off, New Breed.
Shalom, Israel. It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. I want to talk about why targeted individuals become enemies of the state. As you enter this broadcast, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up. Make sure this notification goes everywhere. I'm going to be bringing out some real pivotal information for a lot of brothers and sisters. I see y'all rolling in pretty quick. I want to talk about, first and foremost, what a targeted individual is for those who don't know.
Talk to him, Mark.
A targeted individual is a person that thinks outside of the status quo.
Come on.
An individual who is a threat to society because they have the proclivity to enlighten and awaken other individuals.
Speak.
They're influential. Not just on a massive level, but even within the confines of families, friends, colleagues, associates. These are natural born leaders.
I told you yourself. Didn't I tell you we finna start shining? Huh? They watching us, man. They watching us. Let go.
They draw outside the lines. They think for themselves. They don't allow the system to dictate what they do with themselves, what they do with their own bodies, what they do with their minds. And they don't allow society to maneuver them or sway them in the direction that they will have them go.
Come on.
And these people are a threat because they can influence others. So this system wants to rid society of anyone who may stand up to any level of tyranny.
And we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. My bad, give me a minute, man. I just knocked over my damn crystal. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get that, man. We're gonna go on their documents and everything, you know. One thing about the government, they ain't shy about shit. They gonna tell you what they gonna do. They'll put it out there, and they'll put the information for you to dig on it. And they'll tell you, we gonna do this to you. That's how they roll. Let's go.
They hate the free thinkers. You know, in this society, there was an agreement made. There was an agreement made with Satan's people and Satan himself. And this agreement was that in order...
Also, we're going to get into the spiritual aspect of it. It is a spiritual aspect. I noticed that early on. You know, I try not to read too much into it because it's definitely technology involved. It's a lot of technology involved. Without technology, this would not be possible. So you must first understand what the weapon is that they're using, and that's how we're able to somewhat, I guess, deal with, you know what I'm saying, the situation. And so this is why we scream detox. Detox, I cannot say that enough. You need to be detoxing on a daily basis, right? All you gotta do is look up and see what they're spraying, right? Now, what they're spraying has a lot to do with being targeted, right? That's another video. Let's go.
For Satan's people to have heaven here on earth,
talk, man.
They will have to put certain people through hell.
Talk on it.
See, ladies and gentlemen, for a lot of people, this particular world, this society, is absolutely heaven. People love this place. And they believe this is the know-all, be-all.
So much so to the point where the Most High said in 2nd Ezra's, for this reason, Ezra's, I have not made one world, but two. And so a lot of people are attached to this world right here, which will soon end, which is fine, by the way, with me. You go right on ahead and stay attached to it and end with it. Let's go.
And those who don't see this place as heaven, those who can observe society and see all of the issues, ailments, problems, everybody who has that intuitive nature or that empathy to know what's going on in the world, compassion, those people don't see the world as heaven. They don't see this life as heaven. These people are typically spiritually minded. And you know, the Bible tells us that if we keep our eyes and our spirits geared towards things of the heavenly realm, that all other things will be added unto us.
And so that's the name of the game, y'all. Indeed, I really think this is a big ass test that's gonna soon end, right? Again, people think when the Most High come back, life is going to end. No, life is going to keep going. It's just going to be in a golden age. That's all. All right, we're going to get it from an ex-sheriff, right? I'm bringing in receipts. We're going to get it from an ex-sheriff. Like I said, man, I've talked to the likes of, doctors. I even talked to a sister one time. Like the like out of the church clergy type shit. Yeah. yeah, no doubt. Yeah, they turn the program on any fucking body. They don't give a damn who you are, right? Let's dig on it.
All right, so usually I make videos in a different room of mine, but I'm painting that room right now. But I left a comment for someone, and I felt horrible because this person has been the victim of gang stuff.
Shout out to Deliverance Ministry, Spiritual Warfare, man. I chopped it up with him a couple of times through email, man. Real good person. Let's go, man. He's going through it. Let's go.
And I want to give you a very descriptive definition and what the origin of it is. is and such, because it's hard to get information on that, and there's a reason that it is hard to get information on that. It's because it is run by sheriff's departments and actually funded by government agencies also to do this 24/7 surveillance. It started out to be against, let's say, people they suspect of terrorism, or if somebody's missing and they think a husband has killed the wife or something, they can surveil them and do different things. But this is different because they're specifically psychologically targeting people to break them down, and it actually brings a lot of people harm, and some people commit suicide from that. So I'm going to go through, but this man that had a video...
All right, I just wanted to touch it. You're going to hear that terminology come up a lot. Indeed, yeah, the program works. However, if they get a person to commit suicide, they then in turn celebrate, have parties and shit. It's a lot of Freemason involved in it. It's a lot of entities involved in it. We're going to dig on some government documents and try to correlate these things. I don't want to get too much into the documents because I know then that they'll probably be coming for the video, right? Let's get it.
On it, he was really concerned, and I felt horrible for him, and his mind's going all directions and things. So what I did is I left a comment for him, but I felt horrible for him, so I'd be able to give him the proper information to help him get through this. Because for some people it's really hard. I was lucky I was tipped off by some people that actually do it. Well, by one person. So I'm going to read what I had left for him in the...
I do want to, and I'm going to just chime in, you know, from time to time. And when we get to Dr. Shawn Andrews and he break down the program, you know what I'm saying, that's when I'm going to kind of, you know, go back and forth and do some correlations and things like that. Yeah, man. Hala Hawa, you know what I'm saying? Similar situation. I was able to catch somebody who revealed that he was involved in my targeting, right? I was able to, Hawa had, the Most High fixed it as to where this person confided in a friend of mine confided in his baby mama, and she then revealed it to me, and I actually heard him. I was actually on three-way, and I'm hearing him saying that he's involved in it. And so I just want to thank the Most High for that, that I was able to get that insight. All right, let's dig it on. Let's carry on. We got a long way to go. Let's get it.
Comment section. Gang stalking is coordinated by the Sheriff's Department. A confidential informant told me he was an informant, and I never knew that, and this was a friend of mine. He felt bad because he told me that I was placed on the list. He told me because they put me on the list to be a targeted individual, 24/7 surveillance, after I turned in a dirty cop. The confidential informant, my friend, told me their ultimate goal is to trigger you to get you to commit suicide after they stalk you and isolate you. They will break in your house and even do things to double your bills, etc. to also...
Yes, very true, very true. Don't know how it happened. Shortly after I got out of incarceration, man, I purchased a firearm, and I'd say about 3 months after I purchased the firearm, it came up missing. It came up missing from where I had it in my house. All right. A year later, I get a letter in the mail from the evidence room, the police department. And the story went that somebody found it at an intersection and turned it into the fire department and left no name. Real shit. I still got the paperwork. When I went to pick the firearm up, I said, "Is that the best thing you can tell me about it?" He said, "That's all they got." I said, "Let me, can you print that? Let me get that in printing. I need that receipt." So, yeah, no doubt.
Target, so they can also target your finances. They're doing things to systematically make you waste money fixing, replacing, and spending on things you shouldn't have to because they sabotage things. My friend had said at their Masonic Lodge, many of the Masons there were on the list to stalk and harass people also, but the most people that they use are the...
Let me just say this, man. I hate y'all motherfuckers. I know y'all hate me. I can't stand a Freemason. I really want to punch you out. I really would punch your ass out. I think y'all some weak motherfuckers. I don't know, man. I just don't like y'all motherfuckers. All right. Just want to throw that in there.
Confidential informants that do surveillance and other things for the police department. And you like controlled buys and different things like that. But there's a difference between surveillance and harassment. This they want you to know, and they want to harass you and psychologically come against you. When they could get someone to finally commit suicide, he said that they would throw parties and celebrate that like it was a big joke. It wasn't as bad for me because
real shit. I've heard it from several individuals that have talked to several targeted individuals, so-called. They have talked to gang stalkers. I've actually talked to a gang stalker myself. I've seen the technology that they use on the phones, that the military presents them with to do this type of surveillance and this dumb shit, right? I've seen the technology. It's very real. Hey, man.
I knew what was going on since my friend had thankfully tipped me off to what was occurring in the sheriff's department, the different individuals that were doing this. Within 1 month of him telling me that I was on the list and that they were coming at me, they found him dead from a diabetic thing. He was 36 years old and his name was Josh. It's a pretty odd coincidence. Your vehicle is the biggest thing they'll mess with. They will do things to have your check engine lights come on, scratch the vehicles constantly, break things that you've just had repaired, put like small little cuts in the upholstery or on the dash and little...
Yeah, smart car. Yeah, if you got a smart car, they can tap into it. They'll pretty much use the sensors. So when you come outside, that's how they know when you're outside, and that's how these people do the gang stalking. I have noticed that. So if you got a car with any car, and I'm talking as early as the 90s, if that car has a motherboard in it, it can be accessed by the United States government, or CIA rather. All right.
Things, cut with a razor, like on your radio into the plat.
Just Google Vault 7, VAULT 7, Wikipedia. Google Vault 7, and it'll tell you that they can access any device. Before it comes off the line, it has a computer chip in it that allows them to go back door. But that's another video. Let's go.
And things like that. One thing they loved doing to my vehicle was cutting the steering wheel with knives. I'd go into a store and come out and go to turn my wheel, and then you'd have cut up areas on the wheel so they could let me know that they broke in my car just to mess with me. And I did file police reports on this. This isn't something weird. It's actually documented and stuff. And I did that even knowing law enforcement and their informants and different people involved in this program were doing it, but just to get it documented. But I knew it wouldn't go anywhere. And it was funny too, even when I'd call in to document this. And they also killed my children's pet rabbits out of lock cages and many other things, broke into my house, did lots of things. But I would call to file a report just to get it documented, and it would take like 6 hours for anyone to show up. And it's not that they were busy, it's because I was hated. I'm on the list, so it'd take just a super long time. Then they'd show up with somebody that's like equivalent to like a parking ticket cop, and it wouldn't go anywhere. I think that at one point, I can't remember if the animal was killed or what, but I wanted to show that there was a little bit of an escalation there. Yeah, I think that's when they killed the animals and stuff. I filed police reports, but I knew law enforcement was someone's doing it, so it wouldn't go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. Even when I filed the reports, they weren't even busy. I just talked about that. They've slashed at least I would say at least 6 or 7 tires, motorcycle tires, do different things. If I parked my car like in a parking ramp and go downtown and stuff and leave it there, if I had some drinks or something, I would come back and not only would my battery be dead, they would actually kill the battery, drain the battery, but then they would unhook the battery cables from the battery to make it obvious that it wasn't just an accident, you didn't just leave your lights on. No, we actually drained your battery and unhooked the cables from the battery. It was pretty pathetic. Let's see. They'd break in my house and let some of the pets out of the cages. So I'd come home and here's these, closed up cages and I've got animals running around the floor. They thought that was pretty funny. I did put some surveillance cameras out that just break the cameras. Or I'd come in the house and I had my daughter, I was out of state for a time and some things had happened and I had to go back and look at the cameras and of course they deleted entire months of footage.
Yeah, I get that a lot from targeted individuals. DJ, can I get some music, please? Appreciate you. Yeah, I get that a lot from targeted individuals, man. Any security system can be compromised. Again, man, it's the technology that makes all this shit available. It may sound unbelievable to some people, right? And you got videos out there, you know what I'm saying? You got people saying it's not real, these people are crazy. Of course, the program is designed for you to look crazy. I get that. But at this point, I'm making this video, right, to expose their ass, right? Now, you can dig on the information. I could care less if you believe it or not, or if you believe that this is happening or not, right? It's fourth quarter, right? That's not my concern. Just because you believe something is not real doesn't make it true. You see what I'm saying? One thing, this is like biblical prophecy, you know what I'm saying? Whether you believe in it or not, it's going to continue. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm not looking for no sympathy, empathy, or nothing because coming to a city near you. All right, we're going to get it from Dr. Shawn Andrews, y'all. We're at Ella Free, Miss Ella Free. Let me mute the music on this one. I want to give a special shout out to Miss Ella Free. She has helped me a lot throughout this ordeal dealing with this program, this government PSYOP program. I just want to give her respect. She does a lot for the community. She does a lot for people. And Dr. Shawn Andrews, you know what I'm saying, for breaking down the program to where people can understand actually what's happening to them, right? This is very pivotal. It's going to be very electrifying. You're going to hear some things, and I'm going to just chime in and say yay or nay. All right, let's go.
Again, TIAngel2016.com, and tonight we have a guest. We have Mr. Shawn Andrews, and he's a doctor. Dr. Shawn Andrews holds a PhD in Material Science and Engineering, an MS in Physical Organic Chemistry, a BS in Medicinal Chemistry, and a BA in Chemical Education. Dr. Andrews has published several notable peer-reviewed articles and worked in collaboration with several institutions, including DARPA, the Department of Energy, the National Institute of Health, the National Science Foundation, NASA, and several others. Dr. Andrews' more notable achievements include the development of tunable paper-based diagnostic devices for portable field sample analysis.
I just want to chime in right quick. I don't know what it is. I've seen several researchers be in the program. So, just he was digging on the technology. He was developing that technology. You know what I'm saying? I think something dealing with water. I don't know what it is with these researchers, but they definitely put them in a program, I guess, so they won't divulge the information of the technology. I don't know, but I just wanted to point that out.
The development of technologies enabling the use of water as a fuel source in vehicle applications. And he's currently working on flexible electronic display devices as wearable clothing for camouflage applications. And Dr. Shawn Andrews is a targeted individual. So thank you so much for coming to the call. We really, really appreciate it. And if you want to maybe elaborate a little bit on your history or your education or anything maybe I didn't include, feel free to do that.
No, thank you for the wonderful introduction, Ella, and I thank all your listeners for tuning in today, and I hope that you can all maybe take something out of what I have to say today. There's not much more to say about my educational background. However, I will get a little bit personal here and state the process by which I became aware. So, like Ella mentioned, I'm a scientist and I'm also targeted, and I became aware of the targeting around June of 2015, so not very long ago. It was a confusing time. I was followed by strange people, lots of red cars. There were strange people in my quiet neighborhood, once quiet neighborhood.
Yeah, red cars, red and white. I don't know why they do red and white. Some type of thing with the color coordinated thing. I usually get red and white cars. I guess when I piss them off or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They usually switch up tactics. Or if I'm talking to somebody on the phone and I say something about red or white cars, usually the next day they'll send like a line of them down the street. All of them will start speeding up and down the street. And then they'll send like a line of red cars and shit. They kind of do this thing to mock you. You know, so it's dumb shit.
Walking dogs, joggers, people I didn't recognize. I wasn't really able to sleep. I don't know why. I didn't know why at the time.
Yes. Same here, Dr. Andrews. Now I understand why. Because at some form of time during a 24-hour span, attempted murder is being performed upon you with Class B radiation, right? Class B radiation is intruding upon my property 24 hours a day. And it builds up what you call dirty electricity. It gets in countertops, cabinet, clothing, carpet, the whole nine.
My friends started to worry because, of course, I started to express what I was observing, what I was feeling, and so forth. And some of them started to distance themselves away from me. And it just seemed like everything I had worked for was being stripped away. So I'm not usually very personal. I don't have a really strong relationship with my parents. But I decided to call my mother one day last summer, and I started the conversation with, Mom, I'm being followed by strange people in red cars. There are people following me on the street that are making weird gestures, touching their face and so forth. My mom suddenly let out this shriek of like agony, screaming, no, 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 not my son. And this was really confusing. I didn't understand. When she gathered herself, she asked me to sit down and said that we need to talk. She then described to me what we all know as gang stalking. My mom was born in a communist country where gang stalking was very prevalent. She had memories of it and was told many stories by my grandparents. Now, she lives in another...
All right, just want to chime in right. Yeah, everybody seems to trace this program back to Nazis and dealing with World War II. Everything leads back this program and its origins. That's where it come from. Came from the Nazis, no doubt about it. Let's go.
State. But she then proceeded to tell me about the program, and it was everything that I was observing. She just taught me how to think, how to act, and react to the gang stalking. She told me how to protect myself, and finally she gave me the courage to be strong, like a good mother does. So my process was aided by my family, by my support network, and I'm very fortunate. Some people go about their lives and face these troublesome situations without understanding what's actually happening to them. But like Ella said, I'm a scientist, and research is in my genes. So over the last 15 months, I've conducted extensive research on all the facets of being a targeted individual. My research is corroborated by my own experiments, so I've tried to reverse engineer the program using very, very simple tactics, which we can go into later on. I've tried to figure out what the objectives of the programs are. I've conducted interviews with journalists, with whistleblowers, with other TIs, even law enforcement. So today, I present to you all my research with three goals in mind: to educate, to engage, and to empower you. To educate you about the program, to engage each of you personally. I would be giving away my contact information. And I also ask of you all to engage in the cause and participate. I want you all to understand your situation, take control of it, and then help your fellow brother and sister who are also in the program. And that's where the empowerment comes in. So with that, I begin with a quote from Amnesty International back in 1996. Give me 1 moment. So, in 1996, Amnesty International stated, throughout the world, on any given day, a man, woman, or child is likely to be displaced, tortured, killed, or disappeared at the hands of governments or armed political groups. More often than not, shares the blame. So, we have to start somewhere, and this is sort of organizing this talk is difficult because there are so many aspects to incorporate, and I want to tell it all to you all at the same time, and I want to form a logical progression of thoughts, but it's really difficult, and I ask you all to bear with me and take notes. It's going to be a lecture format, and this is the best I can come up with as of right now. So let's agree on some facts here. You know that your neighbors are in on it. You know that your landlords are in on it. You know that your coworkers are in on it. You get the workplace harassment, or noise campaigns by the neighbors. Landlords seemingly have to do a lot of work in your apartment and whatnot, perhaps when you're not even home. You know that the taxi servers are in on it, the garbage men, where they slam, say, recycling bottles into their trucks just on your property. You know that the ambulances are in on it, where there are sirens that continuously drive by 3-4 times a day.
I have them. They drive through. I just had one drive through last week. It's more to it. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a trying to get a signal. You know what I'm saying? Or strengthen. You know what I'm saying? A signal coming off the tower that's coming to your phone, and it's just a form of how they you know what I'm saying, intercept. You know what I'm saying, devices and stuff like that. Like, they would let me know, you know what I'm saying, that they're watching my device. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a security setting that lets me know when they're coming in back door. You know what I'm saying? They'll pop up, no doubt.
Take it a step above that. We know commercial businesses are in on that. So we all see tons of FedEx trucks. We see things like, say, pest control vehicles, like Orkin, for instance. We see sewage trucks constantly in our pathway. It's like we're destined to meet up with these people. We know that law enforcement is involved. Local police departments, sheriffs, troopers. We see agency participation with a high likelihood of being audited. We see the FAA participating with the diversion of flights over our homes. We see DHS and FBI also.
Yes. Flights over the home. That's constant. I get small engine airplanes. I would surmise either Charlie Brown Airport or Dobbins Air Force Base. And drones also. He's gonna bring up the drone aspect. Hold on, give me 1 second. A little technical difficulty. All right.
Involved with the use of their small engine planes, their Cessna 182s, 208s, and whatnot, and that's been well documented, especially within the last year. And we see a lot of NSA involvement with the interception of our communications. If you take one step above that,
that would be that would be the bread and butter in my case. You know what I'm saying? Like just the interception of devices. I mean, they just destroy all kind of don't matter what type of device. And I got that from the sheriff guy that I had on first. I actually got that from him. He's like, look, man, do not spend no more money on devices. When I first found out I was in the program, I went through, I kid you not, in a span of 3 months, I spent damn near $600 on cell phones because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. You see what I'm saying? They cost me a lot of goddamn money. Until I talked to dude. He was like, and he put me on to the Vault 7 and shit. But yeah, man, I never forget that shit.
We see DOD assets. So we see Predator drones. I personally have been followed in very close proximity by Predator drone. And
I actually got video footage. I sent it to yourself, man. I would have these things where at nighttime I would walk around the block, you know what I'm saying, kind of strengthen my hip because I got metal plates in my left hip. And I noticed that this I thought it was an airplane, but then put two and two together and noticed it was drone. And kid you not, it's the scariest shit you ever seen. Because we do know that they are weaponized, right? But the intelligence of it, you know what I'm saying, as it circled me walking around the block. It was just circling me. And we talking no more than like 200, 300 feet above me, man. Wild shit. Kid you not.
I also heard it up in the sky. But it's a very, I should just say that's a very, very intimidating and scary sight.
No doubt.
This is an aircraft that you associate with all-out war, and having it just several hundred feet above your head is. Now
let me talk to my adversaries. Now, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. They goddamn drone shit. Y'all got me with that one. Y'all spooked the fuck out of me with that one. Yes, sir. You got me. I give you that one.
A little bit concerning. We see Boeing quadcopters. So the little black surveillance copter that I've seen.
And what is the hell of flying a helicopter close to my house just to vibrate it? What's that about? I get it from time to time.
This approached me several times now on the water in New York Harbor. And at least for myself, and I've heard this from other TIs, I've also report Apaches and Black Hawk helicopters doing flybys or hovering over your home. So at the very top, we see DOD assets. At the very bottom, we see the people you run into every day, neighbors, local businesses, and so forth. But just using a basic logic, we would say that the hierarchy, the chain of command, starts with the very top. So for the talk, I'm going to focus on DOD. And this is what I focused in for my research, because at some level there had to exist communications, guides, operation manuals, and so forth that would dictate how to go about performing these operations, if in fact they were responsible. Now, more often than not, a lot of the secret, classified, top secret programs that we don't have access to are available in the public domain, but the program itself is masked by the use of ambiguities to cover what is actually going on. So again, the focus is on DoD, the focus on the military. And if we go to the Posse Comitatus Act, it states that the use of military personnel from performing various functions within the Homeland is prohibited. However, when directed by the President, the use of military operations for Homeland Defense is a constitutional exception to the Act. When performing Homeland Defense operations, Title 10, the United States Code, forces are not subject to the restriction of the Posse Comitatus Act. Under the directions of the President, where do we see that? Well, we see that in several executive actions. I've always mixed up the number. I think it's 13233, but I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. We see that with the National Defense Authorization Act of 2016 and the one before that. So we can say that the military can perform operations on U.S. soil against enemy combatants because they have the authorization to do so under the President. Let's move forward. What's DoD's framework for Homeland Defense? Well, their framework includes strategies, plans, and actions taken to detect, deter, prevent, and defeat threats and aggression against the homeland. Now, I should also add here that experimentation is needed to ensure the effectiveness of Homeland Defense.
Yes, no doubt about it. Whistleblowers, truth advocates, gun advocates can be in the program. And various other, what I'm saying? Like I said, it's no color barrier, but definitely, there are a lot of people that are in the program for experimentation only. Matter of fact, through my research, the first time that this technology was tested was during Operation Iraqi Freedom, right? And so we're just digging on it, man. Surf the wave. Let's go.
Then we have to ask ourselves, what's a threat? Well, a threat comes in many forms. A threat comes in the form of a whistleblower, an activist, a protester, a movement, politicians, constitutionalists, gun advocates, perhaps even the next lover.
And a nigga that's straight hitting them upside the head with scripture, like Nine Spiral.
Sort of heard of, or most of us have heard of Lovent, especially with the recent release of the Snowden movie. So then we ask ourselves, what are DoD's Homeland Defense objectives? Well, there are 8 of them, and they are to identify the threat, dissuade adversaries, ensure defense of the homeland, and deny an adversary's access, ensure access to cyberspace and information, protect the domestic population and critical infrastructure, deter aggression and coercion by conducting global operations, decisively defeat any attack if deterrence fails, that means death, and recovery of the force to restore readiness and capabilities after an attack or incident. So of those, I'm going to go ahead and just focus in on deter aggression. And we need to define deterrence. And I'm going to read you the official definition of deterrence according to DoD. And it is very convoluted. It's very confusing, but I will attempt to translate it for you. So deterrence is a state of mind brought about by the existence of a credible threat of unacceptable counteraction against adversaries, or the prospect of their mission failing to achieve desired objectives. So translated, if you're an adversary, if you're a TI, anything you attempt to do to increase your resources, social, monetary, political, safety, will be thwarted to the extent that you understand that you are destined to fail.
That would explains getting denied disability twice. So I got one more time, and I hope y'all don't deny me, cause we're gonna be in, but we're gonna fight it out in court. Unemployment. I had trouble with that, and that was just because they was like somebody's using your social security or something like that, some type of shit. Medical, yeah, you get denied of medical, all kind of shit. So yeah, just simply going out and get a job. You know what I'm saying? If you're on this list, you know what I'm saying, you can forget about it. And so I've already accepted that, and I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I kid with my argue self. I be like, man, I've been doing without for so long. I've gotten used to it, and so it's nothing to me. But what it has done is brought me so much humbleness, right? And I'm thankful for that, because I wouldn't be able to be the person that I am, and you know what I'm saying, to persist, you know what I'm saying, and continue to thrive if it wasn't for being in this program. And it, indeed, what they wasn't counting on, it has brought me closer to my mother and father above, and that I will cherish forever. But I'm trying to tell y'all can't fuck. I don't even see why y'all see y'all problem is that y'all don't understand the power that my mother and father above has, right? And so I'm using all this shit and turning it right back on you, right? Yea, though I walk through the valley, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff. They comfort me what? Through the valley. And so you hear the terminology or the phrase, no weapon formed shall prosper. Yeah. You're going to get your Daniel on and hurt the saints for 1 hour of the impious age or what have you. Go and do your thing. But this shit is finna end. I will get some get back, right? And boy, when I do, I'm going to run through everybody that had something to do with this punk ass program. Let's go.
And no longer pursue those resources. One moment, please. So how does the DoD implement deterrence? They have a concept called the Joint Operating Concept, and it's an effort to identify and institutionalize Homeland defense and unconventional warfare. I want you to remember the term
unconventional, all right? So what he's explaining, what these documents are explaining, right? And I'm going to kind of go without the music. What these documents are explaining is how they're going to use what? The people around you to do their dirty work, right? And so this is where the gang stalking comes in. Pay no attention to the terminologies. These are terminologies that were invented by them, right? We say so-called. We don't really know what the fuck it is. All we know is just dumb shit.
unconventional warfare. We're going to touch on it in quite a bit here coming up.
Be honest with you, most of my gang stalkers are Migos who probably came over here and like I said, you got gang stalking ads. You know what I'm saying? When you can pull up a gang stalking ad off the internet, you know, something's wrong. And so ex-convicts, you know what I'm saying? I've heard it's a get out of jail free card to do this type of shit. A lot of it is entrapment. People want to get out of a certain case, a dope charge or something like that. A lot of meth heads. I get a lot of meth heads that do the targeting. And so, yeah, man, I'm just chiming in, correlating.
So the joint operating concept serves two purposes. It defines how joint forces must operate to counter irregular threats. Now, joint forces would include collaborations between, say, the DoD, FBI, NSA, DEA, just about local police, your local enforcement agencies, law enforcement agencies, your state troopers, and so forth. There are various joint operating task forces. And irregular threats include you and I. The second purpose is to guide force development, material and non-material capability development, and experimentation. So they set the standard by which everyone acts. Their approach is simply to prevent, deter, disrupt, and defeat these threats. Where prevention is the primary focus of the effort, since it is preferable to deal with threats and the conditions that give rise to them. So once a threat is established, the joint force will aim to deter, disrupt, and defeat it. Now, the joint operating concept, and just stick with me here, because I promise you we're coming to the very important part here. The joint operating concept is focused on unconventional warfare, which is defined as operations conducted by, with, or through irregular forces in support of a resistance movement or insurgency or conventional military operations. So this definition reflects two criteria. Unconventional warfare must be conducted by, with, or through surrogates, and such surrogates must be irregular forces. Finally, in keeping with the covert nature of unconventional warfare, it has involved the conduct of classified surrogate operations. So very simply, unconventional warfare is a support to a resistance movement. And I'm here to tell you today that you are the adversary, and your obnoxious neighbor, the color-coordinated perps on the street, the cop car that regularly follows you home, the small engine plane circling above you for hours, wherever you go, the complete invasion of your rightful privacy is the resistance movement. We've seen plenty of examples of these tactics being used by the U.S., not in our homeland, but say in 1980s in Nicaragua. We've seen it with the support of resistance forces to the Mujahideen in the 1980s as well in Afghanistan. We've seen the support of the resistance forces in, say, operations Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. The focus of unconventional warfare is on the native resistance elements, not U.S. force structure and procedures. So the goal is to leverage the assets on the ground, the assets that can be adversarial, or that can be resistance forces against the adversary. I should also say that Unconventional Warfare is one of the U.S. Special Operation Commands, so U.S. SOCOM. It's one of their core activities.
Yeah. There you have it. There you have it. All right, let's dig on it, man. RF Soft documents. Anyway, these is military documents. Let's dig on it. All right, this is the AR Soft, right? These are the military documents and things like that. You can get it online, but it's very convoluted, right? And so we're gonna try to read in between the lines and see what we see, right? Because, like I said, man, they tell you, right? They tell you what they're gonna do. All right, we're gonna pay attention to the left. The execution of activities that involve a combination of lethal and non-lethal actions taken by specially trained and educated forces that have a deep understanding of cultures and foreign language, proficiency in small unit tactics, subversions, or sabotage, because they do sabotage your name, right? How else would you get the neighbors in on it? And so, yeah, they go around and dirty up your name. And here's the thing, right? If I'm some type of law enforcement and I come to you, right, and I'm like, hey, it's your neighbor 2 doors down, could you help us kind of surveil him? You know, we watching him. We're looking at it. He's been involved in this type of thing, that type of thing. I'm not going to name the shit that they be slandering your name with, because it's just horrendous. You know, anything from drug dealer to, you know what. But naturally, what, you know, I mean, I know if it was me, I don't fool with the law enforcement, period. But naturally, some people would. It's like, okay, yeah. And in some cases, I've even, and we have proof that they would even compensate monetary-wise these people. It may be an angle to where their house is facing, you know what I'm saying, your house at a certain angle, and they may need to use your driveway. Hey, can we pull up in the driveway? We just need to get it close enough to get a signal. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to tap his devices and stuff. And so, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty much the situation. It doesn't take much, you know, since you've grown up and you've been brainwashed, you know, that the United States government loves you and they care about you and this and that, and you can't survive without them. You know what I mean? These types of things. And so, yeah, man, that you know, some people are, you know, privy to believing them. And so this is how this thing works, man. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That's how they get neighbors in on it. Different small companies, they get churches in on it. Yeah, this thing is big, man, no doubt. And the ability to build and fight alongside indigenous combat. See that? So this is my message to gang stalkers, right? Keep on continually doing the devil's bidding, because that's all you're doing. You're doing the devil's bidding, right? See, they done tricked you. That's all they've ever done was trick motherfuckers. Your whole government, United States government, is built on fucking trickery. And that's why it's nothing to them when they snatch the fucking rug from under and it fall. It's nothing to them. And fight alongside indigenous combat, you fucking fools. They done tricked your monkey asses. Some of y'all niggas just want the bag. You'll just do any fucking thing. Some people don't know what they doing. And so this thing is very intricate. You see this shit? And fight alongside indigenous combat formations in a permissive, uncertain, or hostile environment. They're talking about your hood. They needed to find a way to get close to you in your hood. And the only way they could do that was through your peoples. You see this shit? We just digging on it, man. Let's dig on civil affairs, huh? Civil affair operation. Let's dig on it. Those military operations conducted by civil affairs forces that enhance the relationship between military forces and civil authorities, huh? In localities where the military forces are present. Enhance the relationship between military forces and civil authorities, huh? They want to build a relationship with you, huh? So they can get to the real ones. That's why I say I'm just a small-time prophet. Support the channel if you will. But I got a heart of a lion. Enhance the relationship between military forces and civil authorities in localities where military forces are present. Require coordination, other interagency, governmental and non-governmental organizations. So when I say your churches are involved, yes. Small business, yes. FedEx, UPS, all the people he named, yes. Everybody's in on it. Just like COVID, everybody's in on it. Non-governmental organizations, indigenous populations, huh? And institutions, and the private sector. They're telling you that they're getting people in on it to do this shit so they can cover it up.
I don't see how we can grow unless we up our game on social media. I don't have.
Oh, let me get this hijack off the fucking.
I have enough.
Keep hijacking me. All right, there you go, people. He's also a doctor. He has an interesting story. Y'all need to dig on him, man. He has an interesting story. Another thing I wanted to point out is that it's not an isolated thing in the United States, man. I've talked with other CIs in China, Mexico, England, Australia, Africa, Canada, even Hawaii. And so this thing is getting I've seen it get a lot more attention over the years, and I'm thankful for that. We always knew that it would because it was too big to cover up. And so a lot more people are coming out about it. But you do have some people on there that's going to sway the narrative and make it seem something that it's not, right? And so you got your agent provocateurs out there on YouTube that's going to try to, so just be, leery of those type of videos. But definitely people are sharing their accounts, man, and coming forth. And the only thing about it is you talk about it, they will use shit against you. They will take something I say in this video, and the next day it'll happen. And so it just do dumb shit like that, but like whatever. Real shit, real time, y'all. No doubt. Your United States government coming straight from the military industrial complex, the DOD. A lot of people, I had one guy like, ah, damn, man, you gotta be careful, man. Screaming out, fuck them. Ah, then, nah, nigga, they done already did it to me. You can't talk, because they ain't did it to your ass yet. They done already did it to me. I can talk. I can talk shit to them. I can tell them they ain't shit. Huh? Because I know what's coming. All right.
Gang stalker, he's a perp. What's up, perp? How you doing today? Got his little earpiece in. Tell him to give him his directions. See his earpiece? Yeah. Got his little wired bug. Yeah. How long you been stalking people, man? I was taking out of the military. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Since you got out of the military, huh? And I know this to be true for a fact because I know for a fact that some of my gang stalkers are ex-military or retired military, and so Air Force or what have you. And so this is another aspect that that's not talked about much, is how they use retired military people to do this type of shit. That's why I'm kind of leery of anybody that has ever been in the military. I just don't trust them. That's the military. You know what I'm saying? So, if that includes you, so be it. But, yeah, this is what we up against, man. This is the evils that some of us are up against. Let's go.
Yeah. Who's your handler, man? Yeah, who's your handler? Yeah. Satanic robot for the New World Order right there.
That nigga said, who's your handler? Satanic robot, let's go.
Jesus, man. Follow people around, it's illegal. So you said it's only illegal to follow people to their home. So you can just follow them around wherever you want. In a public place, man. Yeah. Okay. How much they pay you to do this, man? I get a salary. Huh? I just get salary. You get salary? Yeah. Okay. GS level 12. GS level 12.
He's not bullshitting. Look it up. GS level 12. They start from 7. And I think they go up to 13. Yeah, 13. Yeah, so no doubt.
Okay. What's that mean? It's a government period. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did look it up, nigga. Yeah.
So you follow people around wherever you want to. Track and trace. tracking trend. So you admit to what you're doing. Yeah, well, that's good. At least you're you got a conscience. At least you're being.
That nigga said it's a job, man. I mean, hey, and you know what I'm saying. This is all we want, right? Somewhat transparency, right? Because they never talk straight. You can never get a straight answer out of them. They all run and fold and shit. You feel me? Get your big ass out of here. All right, appreciate you for rocking with 9 Spiral, man. We're gonna get it from the guy that I said had an interesting story. He's also a doctor. This is Dr. Matthew Aaron. Again, these doctors, these are not their real names. You know what I'm saying? But they go by these names. But these are indeed doctors. You can pull them up, Google them, what have you. All right, let's get into it. Pop off, Doc.
This presentation is going to show evidence that a high-powered microwave generator has been used for electromagnetic assaults and covert domestic terrorism in Vancouver, Canada. My name is Dr. Matthew Aaron, and I documented this evidence in December 2015 inside my residence, which was apartment 1501 at 1189 Howe Street in Vancouver, British Columbia. My hand is shaking because I was just standing in that microwave beam. And you can see now that it's already come back, as if they're still putting energy through that trajectory. If I were to trace a line, if I were to trace a line from my heart standing here, or possibly my head in a sleeping position in the bed, back through, it goes back to London Place. I can't see through the steam right now, but I think it's the second of the floors below the penthouse floor. So there's a floor above it. I discovered 2 of these distinctive beam marks in one of the windows of my apartment around midnight on the 20th of December, 2015. This was shortly after 2 high-power microwave attacks were carried out on me through the same window earlier that day. This is what the view through the affected window looked like during the day. When I moved in, I decided to set up my office in this solarium to capitalize on my beautiful view of downtown Vancouver. Little did I know how exposed this position was to electronic harassment and microwave assaults from nearby buildings. The 2 attacks through my window on December 20th, 2015 were extraordinarily painful and potentially life-threatening. They caused torturous electrification of my body. The attacks stopped my heart, made it impossible to breathe, and visibly burned my chest and eyes. Permanent changes were also electromagnetically etched, or flash burned and frozen into my window. These precise electromagnetic etchings could be seen in the way that fog condensed on the glass.
So, I mean, you broke down the gang stalking very, very, very nice, man. Like you said, you were a part of gang stalking. You witnessed it. You were attacked by it. Okay, so let's see. What have you ever seen any like physical, like DW, a predator droid, anything of that nature?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I start with the DWs, man. Like I told you, the first time I was hit with a DW, I thought I was going to die. And this happened the first 4 times until it put me in that fight or flight mode to say, okay, I have to find something to alleviate this. And that's when the extreme research comes into play, and the networking with other TIs and stuff like that. But the symptoms, first thing, you know what I'm saying, they want to attack your heart. That's the main thing for the DW, and slow the heart rate down. So the first time this happened to me, I was sitting in a chair doing some research, and I noticed I began to get sleepy.
Wow.
And I noticed it became hard for me to breathe, and my heart rate became very slow, and I started leaning to the side, and I didn't understand why, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was conscious of the fact that I'm about to fall out the shell.
Right.
But I couldn't do anything about it. And so,
Yeah. And so, what another thing I wanted to point out was the complications in talking, the slurred speech. That was the most scariest part about it, if you will, because I think I was trying to call for somebody, and you know what I'm saying, it was coming out, it was mumbly and shit. So the slurred speech, and definitely, you know what I'm saying, they playing with the arithmetic of the heart and shit right there. They can speed it up, slow it down, all kind of shit. Alright, no doubt about it.
I intentionally steamed up my apartment and fogged up my windows during some of the high-intensity microwave attacks. I did this to try to make it difficult for the assailants to see into my apartment and to surround myself with a crude shield against the incoming microwave beams. Discovering the 2 beam marks in my window was an unintended surprise resulting from my improvised countermeasure. This is a photo of the left beam mark, which was aligned with my seated position at my desk during the attack at 6 a.m. This second photo shows the beam mark that formed in the window right where I was standing during the attack at 10 p.m. Earlier this evening, they made the word jump on my refrigerator, which it basically shows you their motive. They are trying to drive me out of this place, and preferably, I think they would have no problem with me actually jumping out the window. Here are some more letters. I have kept this place immaculately clean. I have never drawn words on these windows, and right now I'm super saturating the air with steam, which is how these are showing up. They're actively writing in the steam. I have to go turn my shower off because I have it running full blast. It might be overflowing. This is the only way I know to get rid of... Yes, my apartment is very messy right now because they've been nonstop tormenting me. But the steam is the only way I know to get rid of these very uncomfortable attacks. I am, however, standing up for myself, and I have a right to do that. The MO of these harassing attacks is all to hide in plain sight and to use high technology and subterfuge to a level which is very sinister. If anyone levels a complaint against them, they will be considered crazy, and it's hard to gather evidence. This they did not count on.
Come
I have never...
You feel me? Yes, I've been there before. If you seek any type of help from the hospital, they will call a 5150 on your ass. Dead ass serious. It took one time for me to understand that, and the rest of the people that's in this punk ass program. I mean, I've seen them call. I've talked to doctors. You know what I'm saying? As to where they've called 5150s on doctors. It's like, look, man, your name come up in the computer and they got a red flag on it. So it's nothing personal, but we have to call you crazy and we have to send you to get evaluation, no doubt. And so this is you know, the tentacles of this program. It reaches all areas and aspects. And there you have it, man. Dr. Matthew Aarons, no doubt. All right, I want to talk to one of my gang stalkers right quick. I want to send this out to you and say, boy, I know what you're doing. I know that you are ex-military from the Air Force. I know that you are African. I know that you are a weak, effeminate male. And I know that you are empty on the inside. And I know that the Most High is coming back to kill you, boy. I would do it myself. I would kill you. My words, I put it out there. Might cry 2 tears in the bucket. Fuck it, let's take it to the stage. I would kill you. But I know the Most High is gonna do it. So I'm not worried about that, but I know what you're using. It's not fun. Hurts like hell. But you see, I have mama ingredients. And so I just increase copper intake, selenium, manganese. I know how to build a magnetic field around me. I know how to repair my cellular structure. And I know how to break down your toxins that you're spraying in the sky. So devices like this can work, right? I know what you're spraying in the sky. I know how to break down the toxins. I know how to concrete amino acids to help break down the toxins. See, these are mama ingredients, nigga. Yeah, you know I walk through the valley. You can't do shit to me, boy. Y'all mad because y'all can't do shit. Y'all have to resort to punk ass fallen angel technology. I put hands on you, boy. I just wanted to get my rocks off. Y'all appreciate you for letting me get my rocks off. Y'all 9 spiral, man. Alright, so this is what it's capable of attacking, man. I get it in the teeth a lot. The thyroid. They're always attacking my thyroid for some reason. Not so much the heart. I used to get the heart a lot, but I keep a lot of copper in me, zinc and shit, and pure. We talking pure zinc. They go for the brain and skull a lot. Ears. I get burning in the eyes all the time. That's not fun at all. The burning in the eyes and the skin burns. That's not fun at all. My cousin said me good marijuana, man, for the low. So I got good support in the adrenal gland, in case y'all didn't know. But when you smoke, you want to smoke and you want to cough. As you cough, it's open up your adrenal glands. And you get good glutathiones flowing in the thyroids and things like that, right? And the endocrine system. You see, 9 spiral, learn some things now. It's mama ingredients. You can't do shit to me, boy. Everything y'all throw at me, the Most High open up a door for me. Everything y'all have thrown at me, my mother and father above has opened up doors in the midst of obstacles. I've seen it. And so you can't do shit to me. But there it is, Raytheon. All right, y'all. We on my Instagram, man. We gonna get it from some people. And what I want to attempt to do is show that how this program is prevalent in our community, in this Hebrew Israelite community. And for that very reason, I've talked to a number of Ox and Aquas, and their testimonies out there on YouTube. Y'all dig on it. You know, who can attest to this and do believe the fact that they're taking back their identity, right? This is a means for getting put in the program, no doubt about it. So we're gonna dig on it. We're gonna hear their testimonies, and we're gonna call it a day, man. This is probably the longest video I've done. All right, let's get it on, like Marvin. Pop.
Targeted individuals, or individuals who are being singled out by society, by the government, by family, by friends, all because these individuals are jobs, family members, basically in the form of people trying to abuse them, misusing them, walking away from them, walking out of their lives, taking things from them, lying on them, putting false witness out against them, trying to characterize them as something and somebody that they're not. Hey, I already know about that myself. And these individuals have talked about basically forming a support group of us. Well, we are a support group. As long as we stay in the Word of God, God keeps bringing His family together and keeps His family together. In other words, like-minded, like-spirited individuals tend to somehow show up in each other's lives just when it's needed.
Fam, I always appreciate the message. All praises to the Most High. All praises in regards to targeted individuals. And there's a lot of misnomers that I gotta totally clear up for a lot of brothers and sisters to truly understand that, yes, on certain governmental files, there are certain people who stand out in society. There are certain individuals who have high levels of intellect because they think outside of the box. They don't follow everybody else. J. Edgar Hoover, he put it in FBI papers. They was in fear of a black Messiah rising. So they put eyes on the projects. They put surveillance on the projects. They put surveillance on the poor. Those who was putting up street lights, doing food drives, helping their community. Those people were being watched. And there's still organizations that set up to keep surveillance on the children of God. There's no doubt about that.
Right here, you guys, because, I'm sick and tired of these gang stalkers, y'all. You feel me? These stupid motherfuckers. I really cannot stand them. They gang stalk you all day long, you guys, because there's a life insurance policy taken out on you, right? There's a bounty on your head, okay? But the bounty on your head is only cashed out successfully if you kill yourself. This is how stupid these people are. They don't understand that most of us that are targeted individuals pray to a God that's higher than that's above everybody. You feel me? We are marked by the Most High God of Israel.
Just online today, just trying to give y'all a heads up on what the government is trying to do out here. First off, if you want to know more about what I'm talking about right now, you go to YouTube, you type in targeted individual. Yes, I'm a targeted individual. The government try to make their life a living hell. Just to let y'all know, it's a program. It's a program. The Bible is definitely living out its prophecy right now. Y'all don't know, this is much more of a spiritual thing. It is much more of a human. So, I'm just letting y'all know, what it's for.
And what happened in this vision was, I was on the internet, and the Lord took me, and the Lord said, write down this. And I wrote something, I don't know. I wrote down stalking or something like that on the internet while I was in the realm of the spirit. And I found out that there are some people out there that believe in something called gang stalking. Now, according to what I was reading of the spiritual realm, and these people think that gang stalking is done by the government, and the government is following them and this and that, making them paranoid and things like that. So, I looked into it, and the Lord took me to what is really the problem. So when I went there, the Lord said, for these people do not know, for they see only with their physical eyes. My brothers and sisters, there's no such thing as gang stalking. It is a demonic attack. I repeat, there's no such thing as gang stalking. reason why you're having this demonic attack and you call it gang stalking is because you are a prophet. I repeat, the reason why you are having gang stalking, or the so-called gang stalking you call it, is not because you are having any problem. It is a demonic attack because your star is real bright. Because the star in you is too bright that it affects the demonic kingdom. What happens is that when a person is born, right? When a person is born, they are born with a star. And what happens is that when you are born with this star, and if this star is so bright, it makes the demons afraid of you. Because they don't know your future, because they don't know your destiny, they are afraid of you. So what happens is that they spiritually start monitoring you.
Yasharella is a threat. Okay. Everything after that, I'm not going to say that it's irrelevant, but I am going to say that there are threats. Okay. Being that Yasharella is first in line for the threat, you understand? I have my man right here, Spiral. All right, so we're going to talk, okay? And we're going to get from a Khan's perspective, okay? What's going on out here? What's popping off? All right, so nonetheless, let's go. Let's pop off. So for the record, man, just go on and tell the people your name, you know what I'm saying? And a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Shalom. Brian McClure, born and raised in Southwest Mount Georgia. As far as I can go back, I can trace my targeting right when I got out of incarceration.
The military-industrial complex calls us, and you can look this up in their own white papers, they call us empowered individuals. And I'm reading this right off the RSOF Operating Concept 2022, U.S. Army Special Operations Command. This is the publicized, looking forward, military defense strategy or whatever. And they say one of their main enemies in the future is going to be empowered individuals, people who have influence over their community. Can you believe that? Your own military that you pay for with your own tax money considers you a threat to national security, or I don't know, maybe your own corrupt groups that run the Pentagon, because you are resistant to the prediction software, the social engineering, the manipulation for their agenda, trying to dumb down the population and plug everyone into a proto-matrix, technocratic slave grid that they're obviously setting up. And basically, it's the standalone complex. It's the 100th monkey theory. Just to briefly explain the 100th monkey theory, it's, the observation where you have a population of monkeys scattered around, maybe in some islands. One of them, they're all eating figs that drop in the sand, and it's destroying their teeth because it gets the sand on it, and one of them decides to start washing it off. But without communicating this or physically traveling to another island, all the monkeys in the population in distant islands several miles away start washing off their figs. And it's like, how is this happening? No one knows. It's some kind of weird symbiotic, I don't know, psychic nature thing. And maybe you don't believe in that, fine. What the New Agers would call indigo children, one individual that's like the 1 in 1,000 of a flock of birds that starts to fly off and then all the rest of them follow. What they call it, and I'm just looking at this logically, is basically the standalone complex, or empowered individuals, people who have influence over their community, which they say have always existed as a minority group, but now that we're in an age of globalization and with the advent of the internet, the community that an individual has to influence is now global. And when you have one ant standing up to them, they all might stand up.